I have to say that Metro Awakening has exceeded my expectations.
Metro Awakening is a thrill ride unlike any other VR title I've played in recent years.
And this right here brings me to the Game of the Year discussion, which I feel Metro Awakening is definitely a contender.
Piuttosto che rigiocarlo, mi taglio il pisello.
Hello folks, thank you for clicking on the video. VR Dead here. Today we're talking about the most anticipated title of 2024, Metro Awakening VR. This multi-platform horror game created by Vertigo Games and inspired by the books of Dmitry Glukhovsky is out for PC VR, Quest 3 and PSVR 2. Gamertag VR, Victor Benjo and Matteo311 are calling it Game of the Year material, while other Italian reviewers think it's all hype and it didn't get anything right. Is this game really worth a play? Stay with me and I'll tell you my honest opinion. Now, if you already followed me in the past, you probably know that I'm not usually into horror games. They aren't exactly my comfort zone. Oh crap. I shit myself pretty easily in VR. But I couldn't turn down the offer from the Metro marketing team to play for free the most hyped title of 2024. Fuck! And honestly, I'm glad I did. Metro Awakening kept me on the edge the whole time, and it is seriously scary with plenty of jump scares. But what makes it for me the most is the atmosphere that is quite oppressive. The level of immersion in my view is insane and I honestly loved it. I felt like I was really there in those tunnels and that caught me by surprise. There are also spiders that jump right at you and Vertigo is working on a patch for those of us with arachnophobia.
Spiders, bitch.
And I had to take frequent breaks at the beginning and play to Tiny Glade to compensate a little bit. But then I kind of got used to it and I started enjoying exploration. However, I should say that if horror isn't your thing, this game might be too much for you. Let's talk gunplay. I found that the weapons feel solid and realistic, adding a lot to the immersion. Manual reloads feel pretty good and accurate, but I couldn't holster a second pistol and that pissed me off quite a bit for some reason. Also, I would have loved to see an ammo management system like Into the Radius, where you reload the clips one bullet at a time instead of what it is. Taking down enemies is fun, but I felt it's missing that extra edge. There's not a lot of gore or blood, and kills don't feel as satisfying as they could. That said, smashing mutants, rats over the head when I run out of ammo, well, that's pretty damn entertaining. If you're a VR purist looking for a peak immersion, Metro Awakening VR maybe feel a bit limited. You won't be scouring every drawer for loot and the lack for a full body is perhaps a bit disappointing for the year 2024. However, I should say that the focus here is on horror and story. So, if you're looking for super detailed VR interactivity like Half-Life Alyx, this might not check all your boxes, but it must be said that general interactivity is pretty good and the piano in-game works for real. Check this out. Visuals are incredible overall and I honestly loved it, but I was expecting something a little bit better from the PC VR version. The lighting is gorgeous and many of the high resolution textures are great, but there are definitely a few that don't match up and unfortunately are very easy to spot. If you're like me, a maniac for good graphics, this is unfortunately noticeable and might put you off. I liked also how well the characters have been animated, but above all, I think sound design is top notch.
We won't forget. We won't forget. We all remember forgetting, but soon, death.
Not only voice acting is incredibly good, but also the directional sound captured perfectly the haunting world of Metro as it was done in previous titles. I've seen people complaining online about how slow-paced the game is, and actually I could confirm that it is true, that the pacing has some slow stretches. Dense horror sequences give way to walking sim territory, and I found myself having the impression to have replayed several times the same levels. There are a lot of reused assets, which is understandable, but I think they could have hidden that a bit better. Also, level design is very linear, and basically you somehow have to do always a sort of zigzag with not many alternative routes. I liked a lot the stealth sections, and I loved punching in the head the enemies for a silent takedown. Pretty cool. And as for the minecart rides, they're fun at first, but maybe a bit overused perhaps. They fit the story, but they kind of got old pretty soon. So is Metro Awakening VR worth it? In my opinion, absolutely yes, if you're into horror and atmospheric storytelling. I found it really well embedded in the Metro universe, and I think that despite a few rough edges, this is some of Vertigo's best work and deserves a place in the Game of the Year conversation. But if horror isn't your vibe, you might find it a bit much. Those up for a tense, creepy VR journey though, it's a wild ride. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. We are Dead, signing out.